invoices and receipts coming that are showing VAT.
VAT is a modern indirect tax levied on the consumption of taxable supplies of goods and services at various stages of their production, distribution and on imports. It is applied to all goods and services made in the Gambia and imported goods and services if not exempted. Since its inception to date, officials says it has created a lot of revenue.
It's a great tax for the Gambia government because its coming has really added value to our revenue base. You'll observe that sales tax was there, but there are many cascading effects on sales tax as opposed to VAT. VAT is not leaving anybody out. VAT has created a lot of revenue since its inception. Records will tell you, they will tell you from here, Isa and his team will tell you what VAT has done as far as revenue mobilization is concerned. From January to date, we have really realized a great value on revenue collection.
Value-added tax, as explained by officials, is paid by consumers of taxable goods and services, but since its introduction, many still find it difficult to understand, while others are seizing the opportunity to make gains. The sensitization of these NGOs will therefore immensely help in the understanding of the value-added tax. Rahibite, Grts News.
He lived a life of uniqueness, and even in that, Nelson Mandela has that pulling power that few can rival in modern-day politics. Since Thursday night after news broke of his death, millions around the world have been paying tribute to the famous international political figure. Now it is the turn of world leaders who made the journey to Johannesburg to witness the memorial services for the late Madiba. As part of our reflections on Mandela's legacy, Ibrahim Balda went down memory lane to recapture the bits and pieces of the dominant Madiba narrative.
Away to power to the people.
Throughout his life, he has always had a magnifying character wherever he visited and whoever he met. This was Nelson Mandela's first visit at the United Nations, a historic moment for him, few months after serving 27 years in Robben Island.
It will forever remain an indelible blight on human history that the apartheid crime ever occurred. It will forever remain an accusation and a challenge to all men and women of conscience.
The political situation in South Africa in the 1940s was blighted by racism, a system popularly known as apartheid. During this turbulent era, black South Africans lived in perpetual fear under oppressive laws that hounded and targeted blacks. At the United Nations, Mandela used the opportunity to remind the world about a system that the world should condemn. His second appearance at the United Nations provided Mandela the unique opportunity for the international community to know that the winds of change that had been blowing across the world will not spare South Africa in April 1994.
The date for the demise of the white minority regime has been determined, agreed, and set. 7 months from now, on April 27, 1994, all the people of South Africa, without discriminations on ground of agenda, race, color, or belief.
His third and final appearance was perhaps one of the greatest political statements touching on salient international issues that could help at the time the United Nations celebrated its Golden Jubilee.
The very right to be human is denied every day to hundreds of millions of people as a result of poverty and the unavailability of basic necessities such as food, jobs, water, and shelter.
Outside the walls of the United Nations, in South Africa, Mandela had maintained a sustained political life dating back to the 1940s. At the time, a good number of South Africans did not know what Mandela was fighting for then.
The Africans
want the franchise on the basis of one man, one vote. They want political independence. We have made it very clear in our policy that South Africa is a country of many races. There is room for all the various races. We have a large number of Africans who are educated and who are taking part in the political struggles of the African people. The question of education has nothing to do with the question of the vote.
Nelson Mandela had maintained a strong bond of solidarity with colleagues in South Africa before he went to Robben Island. At a speech shortly after his release from jail, Mandela did not mince his words when he paid homage to Comrade Oliver Tambo, who at that time was the party leader of the ANC.
I cannot complete my speech without referring to our comrade President Oliver Tambo.
The last time the world saw Mandela was at the Rivonia trial, where Mandela and his associates were charged with high treason and for leaving the country without permission. This was in 1964.
I have fought against white domination, and I have fought against black domination. I have cherished the idea of a democratic and free society in which all nations live together in harmony and with equal opportunity. It is an ideal which I hope to live for and to achieve. But if needs be, it is an ideal for which I am prepared to die.
At the grand festival to welcome him back from prison, South Africans from across the political divide flooded this stadium to catch a glimpse of a man who spent 27 years in prison to enable his people gain freedom. The punchline in his speech carried a humbling tone.
I stand here before you not as a prophet, but as a humble servant of you, the people. I place the remaining years of my life in your hands.
And across the length and breadth of the world, everyone is now looking at South Africa as the international community come together to remember Mandela before laying his body to rest in his village of nativity in Kunu. Ibrahima Balde, GRTS News.
And over now to other news. More than 100 young men and women have graduated from the Institute of Travel and Tourism, the Gambia. The graduates who went through tourism and travel-related courses ranging from Amadeus Galileo to tour guide and cabin crew are now poised to enter the job market. Prohibited reports.
Tourism and hospitality industries calls for the necessary increase in the number of skilled personnel capable of delivering top-notch services. This has led to a dramatic increase in the number of institutions offering courses that have to do with tourism and travel. After doing courses in a wide range of areas like tourism and hospitality, travel and tourism, Amadeus and Galileo, cabin crew, customer service, tour guide and others are the 108 young men and women are now poised to add their bit to ongoing efforts to increase those gains and better their lot. One institution that is at the forefront of the drive to supply the tourism and travel industry with trained personnel is the Institution of Travel and Tourism of the Gambia, which is now a household name in the country. It is credited with turning the lives of school leavers by arming them with the requisite skills to man travel and tourism-related positions. Although the training was provided by the Institute, the head of the school thinks parents need to be commended for the support provided to their children. Sesian Yang also urged the graduates to be passionate about their work whilst maintaining a steady balance.
As an institution, we strongly believe in providing increased training opportunities for school leavers that will enable them to be self-employed. In the same way, provide technical knowledge, vocational skills, attitudes necessary for manpower development.